Hello and welcome back to Bicycle Legs and another episode of In Defense Of. Today I'm going to be speaking in defense of the 7th studio album by one of my favourite bands of all time, Devo, and that is Total Devo from 1988, sorry. Now, this album wasn't loved by the critics, but that's not a surprise. Most Devo albums were not critical darlings at the time that they came out. It's really only in retrospect that Devo have really gotten any respect at all from the critics. But what I have found is, being in various Devo groups online and that sort of thing, is that this album is really not well loved at all by the fans of the band either. I can't remember if that was the case at the time. The internet wasn't a thing in 1988, and I wasn't that heavily involved in sort of Devo groups and that sort of thing. But I know now, when I interact with Devo groups on Facebook and that sort of thing, that this album is not a well-liked album in the fan base. And that's a shame. Again, as I always say with this series, this isn't meant to say, I'm not meaning to say that this is one of the best Devo albums ever. In fact, if and when I do my studio albums ranked listing for Devo, this one is probably going to come towards the very bottom of the list. But that doesn't mean that there isn't a lot of really worthwhile music on this album. I remember when this album came out in 1988, it had been 4 years since Devo put an album out, and I was really excited to just have a new Devo album, and I bought it when it came out, and I really liked it at the time. I would have been 17 at the time, and I still like this album. So let's go through it track by track. It starts off with Baby Doll. Baby Doll was the second single. Pretty good track. I like Baby Doll. It shows something that Devo do quite a bit, which is go back to old material that didn't get released at the time and reuse certain ideas. In this case, in the chorus, there is the lines, "Baby doll, you look so good. Baby doll, you feel so big." And they used a very similar line to that in a song called Beulah, which was from their Hardcore Devo Live. It finally got released. The second song is Disco Dancer. Disco Dancer was the first single off the album, and I love that song. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful song. Really up-tempo. It is dancey, as the title would suggest, but it's just a wonderful Devo song, I think. Then you get Some Things Never Change, and I think Some Things Never Change is probably the best song on the album. Very, very Devo. I really like Some Things Never Change. I think it's a good lyric. I think musically I enjoy it. Then you get Plain Truth, another really good song. Jerry's lead vocal on that one is good. Most of the lead vocals on this album are Mark. There are 2 or 3 Jerry lead vocals. Plain Truth's a really good song. Happy Guy is fun. Maybe not quite as good as the songs that preceded it, but it's still a fun song. It's one that they did do live. They didn't do a lot of this material live, even when they were on tour for this album, but they did do Happy Guy live, and it was a good song live. Don't Be Cruel is the cover version on this album. Came out around about the same time that Cheap Trick did a cover of Don't Be Cruel as well, and they're very, very different cover versions. Not one of their best cover versions, but fun. Then you get on to side 2 and you get The Shadow. The Shadow, I think, is a good song. I'd Cry If You Died. Another song I really, really like. Agitated, I think, is really good. I like the Mark's vocal on that one is really sort of urgent, and I think it works well. Man Turned Inside Out is a song I've always really, really liked. On the CD version of this album, not on the vinyl, unfortunately, you get Sexy Love, which I think is a lot of fun. And then it finishes with the rather silly, but I think very Devo, Blow Up. I don't even know who does the lead vocal on that. Please, in the comments, if you know who does the lead vocal on Blow Up, let me know, because I've never been able to work that one out. But I think it's a lot of fun. This album is not as groundbreaking as some of the earlier Devo albums. That I will grant you. But that doesn't mean that this is not a good, worthwhile collection of songs. I like the sound of this album. It's not marred by the overuse of Fairlight the way that Shout was. Although I still think Shout's a good album too. I think the songs on Shout are really good. But it doesn't have that sort of particularly Fairlighty sound. A lot of Roland keyboards, I believe, on this album. There is a bit more guitar on this album, still not as much as a lot of Devo fans I think would really like. But I've always been into the keyboardy Devo. You know, I'm not one of these people who wants more and more and more and more guitars. I like to have some guitars on my Devo, absolutely, because I love Bob One. But I like the overall sound of this album. I probably like it better than the album that followed up, Smooth Noodle Maps. I loved this album when it came out. I still really like this album. The fact that it would probably be towards the bottom of my Devo list doesn't mean that I don't think it's a worthwhile album, because I really do. So let me know in the comments what you think of this album. Are you yay or nay on Total Devo? That's the album cover again. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think of this album. Please watch out for an upcoming episode of Studio Albums Ranked where I will do the Devo albums. I'm still trying to work out whether I might even have a guest for that show or not. Please like, share and subscribe. It really does help the channel out. And I love reading comments. And as I say, if you know who does the lead vocal for Blow Up, let me know in the comments. I'd really, really like to know. Please, if you're new to the channel, have a look at some of my other videos. I've got lots of other videos up there now. And there's sure to be something there that you'd like to watch. I've got some good new wave content like the Cars and XTC. Yeah. And if you want to follow me on social media, I'm at bicyclelegs on Instagram and Twitter. On Instagram, I mostly post the records that I happen to be listening to at the time. On Twitter, I tend to talk about anything and everything, although I am trying to give it more of a music focus. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.